Happy Friday. Happy Friday, my gorgeous souls. How are we doing? Welcome into today's weekend reading. I'm going to be pulling from the fairies. Fairy Friday, message from the fairies. Okay. We got the Dreamer coming out. The Dreamer. Okay, let's get 2 more cards, please. Messages for you, for your spiritual journey, for my divine feminines. If you've not watched the previous videos for this week, I did mention that this channel is going to be doing a little bit of a transition into providing a safe, sacred space of guidance, love, and healing for my divine feminines rising all around the globe. This feminine essence that's rising within. Okay, so we have 2 major arcanas so far. One more, please. Thank you very much. So we have 2 major arcanas and a non-major arcana. So we have the Justice card. Take the time to review the details carefully. You will win in the end, fair and objective decisions. Think before you do. Think long and hard before taking action. Think about the reasons why you're doing certain things, perhaps. Use logic and structure to increase your success. Get organized. A firm but compassionate leader. We've been getting that message. Leadership. Stepping into leadership. Okay. And the 7 of Winter. There is a better choice, not seeing things clearly, running away from the truth. Okay, so immediately I get the message that there might be something you're trying to avoid. And so what you're trying to manipulate a way out of what you know is inevitable for you, or what you know like you need to be doing. You might be feeling that your soul is like pulling you, asking you to go in a certain direction, but you're trying your best to find another path. You don't want to go down the path that's like been created. You want another path, a path that maybe is easier or feels less restrictive, or maybe feels better in a way. And this new pathway that's opening up, I know this is another message we've been getting this week, is there is a path that is opening up, and it is scary to walk down because we have no idea what this path looks like. We don't know what's going to happen on this path, what tools we'll need, how we're going to manage, working through this path. And there's a lot of fear of stepping into the unknown because we like structure, we like confirmation, we like to know things. Our egos, our human minds, they like to know what's going to happen, especially if you're like an earth sign or someone who doesn't do well in uncertainty. This can be very frustrating and like scary, because we have to put our trust and our faith into something that we cannot see. And sometimes we go back to old memories of when we trusted in something and got not what we wanted. But I think what you're being asked right now is obviously take the time to review the details carefully. Take the time to sit with yourself, get into a space of stillness, of connection with yourself. And breath is like one of the easiest ways to connect to yourself, or one of the best, because you have your breath everywhere you go. You don't need anything else but your breath to connect to yourself. Sure, crystals and candles and incense and all these things, all these tools help, but they're not needed, right? So maybe that's something you might be believing, like, oh, I need candles, or I need incense, or I need something outside of me to connect with myself, or I need a guide to help me connect with myself. Like, no, those are just false beliefs, right? You have the power to connect to yourself as is, where you are right now. So just breathing. Maybe set a timer on your phone. This is what I do. I set a timer on my phone for like 7 minutes. And I go in a quiet room where I'm not going to be distracted, close my eyes, and I breathe. And I still myself. And I get quiet. And just coming back to that space, obviously over time, you will receive more clarity, more answers, more trust, more faith in that connection, in your divine connection. But if you do not practice connecting, then you cannot have a deeper connection with yourself, right? With anything. If you don't practice, you're not really going to get far. You're not going to really get anywhere, right? So meditating, or even just sitting, breathing, stilling yourself, that's really going to help you understand the truth of situations, because maybe you're wanting to block yourself from the truth because the truth feels too scary for you. And of course, we want to stay safe. We want to be comfortable. We don't want the truth, because once we know the truth, we can't go back to not knowing the truth, you know? Once you're awakened to what's next, what the truth is, whatever, you can't go back to not knowing. Now you know the truth, and now you feel even more inclined to go and follow that truth once you are aware of it. So if you are afraid of knowing the truth, first ask yourself, why are you afraid of figuring out the truth? Why are you afraid of the uncertainty, of not knowing, of stepping out of your comfort zone? Why are you afraid of that? What is the worst case scenario for you? What are your fears? What are your personal fears? And sit with those, give those, surrender those to the universe, to your higher self, to your angels, to the fairies, give your fears, surrender your fears to the fairies. It feels like you're being asked to get more practical. Get practical, get structured. This is Virgo season, so get your habits in order. What is the world that you're dreaming of, your dream life, the world that you want to see? What does that look like to you? Okay, and then ask yourself, are you living in integrity with what you want to see? And if the answer is no, you're not living in integrity, then how can you live in more integrity with what you value, what you wish to see? I think a lot of us are waking up to that truth of, are we living in integrity? Is the question. The question of the hour. Because maybe you value truth, you value love, you value freedom, you value whatever, but your behaviors don't show that you value truth, right? Because if you're not wanting to see the truth, yet you value truth, that's not living in integrity, right? So it's being brave enough to understand the truth. So yes, darling, do not be afraid of discovering the truth. The truth might be scary at first to fully integrate and understand and process, but the truth will set you free. The truth will get you in the direction you need to go. The truth will heal you, will get you to where you need to be. So do not fear the truth. Ask yourself, what do you value? What is your plan? How do you want this world to look? What is the structure that you want to create in this world? And being practical about it. Okay, what can I do? Obviously, this vision is not going to happen overnight, So what are the little baby steps you can begin to do to start living in integrity and building this structure that you wish to see? And that concludes Friday's message. And that concludes the message of the weekend. So if this resonates with you, make sure to give me a like, subscribe if you want to join our divine feminine community of gorgeous souls where we support, love on, and empower each other. And we will catch you on Monday for next week's weekly reading. I wish you guys a beautiful weekend. Sending all my love and light as usual.